Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey guys, how's it going? So anyway, we are finally in the month of October. Our heart goes out to everybody over in Nashville. They got some pretty bad stuff over there. So any way anybody can help or do anything for them, y'all please try to help them out. I think they got pretty much the whole daggum town flooded out. I'm not sure. I think we've got some broken dams and other stuff in East Tennessee. So, I mean, it's pretty bad stuff. What was the name of this hurricane? Helena, yeah. Helena should have just been hell. That's all it could have been. But anyway, October 19th, everybody pay attention. If you ain't got nothing on your calendar for that day, circle it because it's from 12 noon till 6 p.m. Linda Purr is putting on basically it's a Gallatin fanfare, basically. There's a lot of local artists that are going to be there performing for free, having meet and greets, and hanging out with the local people, and everybody gets to get a picture made with them. I think there's going to be some merchandise there or something. I'm not sure. Y'all be sure and get some merch if you're there. But it's going to be at the Paradise Theater, and I forgot the name of the other place that's right next door. Can't believe I forgot the name of the place next door. But anyway, it's a little food place, dine. I think they got a stage and some other stuff. Forgive me for forgetting the name of it, but y'all come out, check it out. It's right there on the square at Gallatin, Tennessee. You can't miss it. It's Palace Theater, I believe is the name of it. And it's probably one of the oldest movie houses in a long time, but they've got a big stage and got all kinds of stuff there. It's actually pretty daggum cool. So y'all come down. The David Bradley Show will be there doing podcasts with the artist and stuff. So y'all come check it out. It's going to be some fun times and food, drinks, and a bunch of good local artists performing. I think we've got some other ones that are going to be there also as well. So it'll be pretty cool. I'm not telling who's going to be there, so everybody has to come see who's there. So anyway, this week for my extra special guest, I seen this man playing with Chris Turner, and I like the way he played. So, and I believe he played with a bunch of other people too. So
yes, it did.
We're going to get into that. So everybody say hi to Logan Ramp, hell of a guitarist extraordinaire. And now for the musical stylings of. You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So you've been in Nashville, what?
Since 2009.
Wow. And you went to?
I went to Belmont University. That's what brought me here.
Oh, well, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I can't say nothing because I know a lot of people that come from Belmont, and they actually paid attention and actually got taught what they were supposed to get taught.
Yeah, I had a lot of good professors. Some of the more like legal stuff, like entertainment law, it was kind of boring and all that. But my publisher teacher is really good. He follows me on what I'm doing in life.
Awesome.
To this day. But I had a couple of good professors. Although the music professors I regularly stay in touch with.
What'd you go for?
I was what was called a commercial music major with a music business emphasis. So I took not only, I know not only was a music major, I took some music business classes. Kind of really opened my eyes up to how the music business worked. But when my original plan was to actually work in the music business, and I realized the more I hung out with people from the music business, I didn't want to work in the music business at all. But what's my trade was always guitar. I started playing when I was 10.
Wow, your hands wasn't even big enough to fit the neck.
Yeah, they were right there.
Right at it?
Yeah. Started on a little junior harmony guitar and took lessons from people who are just like, you don't know this stuff? I'm like, dude, I came to lessons because I don't know how to play this thing.
Yeah.
But, it later became an obsession, and it's saved my life too a couple times too. So,
awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't really played with anybody famous, but I've opened up for famous people. I've
Everybody's famous at least once in their life.
Yes, I mean, that's,
what is it, like 15 minutes of fame or something like that?
I mean, I've had some 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Moments. Maybe this counts.
Hell, I don't know about that, but
yeah,
we do the best we can around here.
Yeah, absolutely. But so yeah, I mean, what brought me here? I mean, I've just seen this town change so much since in the 15 years I've been here.
Try being born here.
Yeah. That's what I hear from all the people, that grew up here. Just like, there was a couple stoplights here. There wasn't all these big fancy businesses and all that,
There was like a couple of bars. Broadway used to be a lot of shops.
Yeah.
And like there was one shop down there called Candyland. It was nothing but candy, and it was like a sweet shop.
Yeah.
And you had, of course, Ernest Tubbs and places like that, but there wasn't a whole lot of bars here.
No.
And I loved it. Because you can't walk down Broadway today. Well, not today, but either day or night without hearing all the bars in the middle of the street. I mean, you ain't got to go nowhere. Just take a lounge chair, and sit in the middle of the daggum street. You can listen to everybody.
Yeah. The only problem is you gotta, be closer to the place you want to listen to, because if you're far away, you can hear one band and another band playing, which they did pass a little bit of a noise ordinance. So I don't think there's any external speakers pointing outwards anymore.
Right.
It's all inwards. So and a lot of the bands have to play like guitars instead of using amplifiers.
Yeah.
Well, technically we use an amplifier, but what they do is they separate the preamp and the power amp section.
Yeah.
I mean, so technically there's like no amps. I'm like, well, technically we are still using an amp. It's just there's no loudspeaker on stage.
Yeah.
So
It's all through the DI now and everything.
Yeah, I've had to get used to that trend, because I remember when that was happening, and it was just like, how is this better?
Well, say, I remember when one bar down there decided, let's put some speakers outside up on the wall so people outside can hear, and it will draw them in. And then every freaking bar down there did it.
Guarantee you, I believe that was Tootsie's.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't going to name names, but yeah, it all started, and then it got to where you couldn't go downtown without hearing them.
Yeah.
But now the big thing is open air. Everybody's opening up the front of their bar and everything else. And Kid Rock has got 3 levels that's wide open during the summer. And you hear it all.
Yeah. I played all 4 of them.
I went to Kid Rock's one time, and I was on the 4th floor, I think. I had somebody on the show, and they invited me down, so I went down.
Yeah.
And seen them play, and I'm like, dude, that stage is little.
That was a rooftop stage.
Yeah, there was 5 people on that stage, and everybody was bumping into each other. And then when you start including guitars and the neck sticking out and everything else, I mean, it was crazy watching them play.
Been there. That and playing next to a wall, so it's always good to go direct on that floor.
Oh yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't stay long. I left. Not saying it's a bad bar. you know, I have a thing when it comes to too many daggum people that are drunk. I gotta get out of there.
Right.
Last thing I need is somebody to start swinging. I'm just like, nah.
I've seen a lot.
Try being in a production booth.
Oh yeah.
You see all kinds of stuff. It's like front row to everybody out there.
Oh yeah.
Caitlin's over shaking her head. Been there, seen that. Nothing but fun.
Right.
Oh Lord. So have you played all the bars down there? Or?
I've played at least every one of them at least once. Some of the newer ones I haven't played yet, but I've played. There's a few I haven't played Roberts or Layla's,
Right.
but I have played Tootsie's several times.
I didn't even know there was a Robert and a Layla down there.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
I know Laney opened up her club.
That's where FGL House used to be.
Okay.
Which I've played there.
Yeah.
In both Carnations. So
I think it's what's it called? Bell Bottoms or something?
yeah, Laney's, Bell Bottom, something like that.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear Bell Bottoms, I think 1974. You know.
I mean,
I'm not saying I'm that old, but yeah, I am that old.
I mean, they were pretty cool. They were pretty cool jeans. I mean, and some of them, you know, like I see people walking around East Nashville.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, the 70s called and want their bell bottoms back.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, everybody's got to have their thing.
Yeah.
Evidently, she loves them.
Yeah. I mean, vintage clothing was actually clothing.
Yeah. I've yet to see anybody running around in Sears little Huskies yet, but okay.
Right.
That's the crap Mom used to put me in.
Yeah, we weren't quite what they predicted in the second Back to the Future film.
Yeah, I know. I like the skateboard though. The skateboard was cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, I've seen all three several times. More so the first, but yeah.
The first one was cool.
Yeah.
There was some things and stuff about it and everything. I was like, yeah. But then there were some like boring times in there too. I'm just like, really? They had to put this in here?
I'm George McFly. I'm your density.
You never know. So how many teachers did you have? Just one teacher on the guitar?
Let's see.
I'm sorry, I had to differentiate because you went to Belmont and you had teachers teaching you guitar.
Before I went to Belmont, I had 5.
Now, were they different styles or?
More so different methods.
Okay.
So first 2 teachers was just like, okay, there was, you know, this young guy that was going to college and, you know, just basically did it for side money and, you know, would play me songs and I would just watch and be like, okay, I want to learn how to play the guitar. He wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But second teacher pretty much got my speed up and, you know, I actually got the concept of, you know, chords in a song and everything. Now my third teacher, I credit him as my Mr. Miyagi.
The biggest influence.
Yeah. Fortunately, he's no longer with us. But he actually, one of his students actually is also here in Nashville. He's played. His name's Jason Roller. He's played for Kelly Pickler, Tracy Lawrence, Joe Diffie. He does a lot of sessions.
Yeah.
Really great player. And this was from like, I think I had him as a teacher from like from 02 to 05. And then I kind of went more in town and then actually went back to him in summers between years in college to learn some country stuff.
Right.
He was very old fashioned, but the way he taught was, I kind of see the light in what he was teaching back then. But yeah,
Well, see, a lot of things that I like, especially with a guitarist, I don't really go for the flash.
right.
I go for how the chords, crisp, clear, everything's precise, and then just wear it out. Kind of like, I'm telling my age, I used to love watching Andy Griffith when they had the Jughead band on there and everything.
Yeah.
The Darlings
Yeah.
is what they were called. I used to love sitting and listening to them because it was just like the picking and everything. It was just amazing how they all got together and started wearing it out. I love an upright bass.
Okay.
I like the look of it, the aesthetics, and everything. And somebody that can play the shit out of it, that's a damn good bass player.
Oh yeah. The only problem with an upright bass is they're very valuable.
Oh yeah. They're a bitch to tote around.
Well, that and production went down with them too,
Yeah.
and everything, went to the electric bass.
Yeah.
I do play it. I can play some bass, but in fact, there's a record my friend and I, Evan, did where I actually played the bass on all that.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I played with a pick or not, but
I don't know. It's like, some people on the bass, they're like, they'll just do finger or they'll do pick.
Mm-hmm.
You very rarely see somebody that will go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only seen a couple. Like Steve Harris, Iron Maiden.
yeah.
He's nothing but finger. And I love watching him play. It's amazing how he plays.
I always liked Geddy Lee of Rush.
Yeah.
That was all finger, but of course Gene Simmons used a pick with Kiss, and Tom Hamilton used one with Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Pick. Which, of course, my favorite bass player of all time is Jaco Pastorius, and
Well, I'm going to give a shout out because my favorite bass player of all time, and you're going to laugh your ass off, is actually my cousin Jody.
okay,
Because you name a song, that man can play it. And he will wear it out. But he's more rock, and he plays in a lot of tribute bands up in Chicago.
okay,
And he just wears it out, dude. I mean, pound for pound, the dude should have been signed a long time ago. It was wild.
yeah,
But that's my story.
Yeah.
Everybody around him right now is going, ah. But it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just curious because some people, when they get a guitar teacher and they're learning it and all that other stuff, sometimes the teacher will teach a certain country or rock or, whatever style they're used to,
yeah. And of course, every teacher, just like every player, has certain strengths.
Yeah.
Like I can't shred out of a box. I mean, not very well. Like, and I always admired guys like Randy Rhoads and Kirk Hammett for
Yeah.
their ability to do that. But but when it comes to like, when it comes to like stuff like what James Burton would play with Elvis or Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Hendrix.
Yeah. I love some Stevie now.
And those are actually some of my influences. Of course, a lot of the blues players like Albert Collins, B.B. King,
Mhm.
Freddie, B.B., even some of the older guys like Robert Johnson, Charlie Patton.
Yeah.
Um,
Albert King was pretty good too.
yeah, Albert King was really good. In fact, if you listen to a lot of Stevie licks, you can tell he was an Albert fan.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of where it started for me. I do like country playing too, but I just some of it's some of it's a little too intricate for me as far, and it's not that I don't like it. It's just, I prefer some of the more stripped down stuff.
Yeah.
I like, like what James Burton played, and
Yeah.
I really liked Albert Lee, which I got turned on to Albert Lee because he actually used to play for Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
He would tour with him when Amy Lou's Harris's band was touring, and vice versa. And which I admire Brent Mason too, but some there's some of his instrumental stuff's like, yeah, nah.
Dude, there's some people, no lie, there's some people play, they'll put me to sleep. It's just like, you got nothing. You just, what's going on here? I mean, you got to do something. You got to give me something.
Yeah. Like, I went and saw Government Mule one time, and
great band from the 80s, 90s. Yeah, 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. So Warren Haynes formed that band with Alan Woody when he was with the Allman Brothers band. They left. And Alan Woody died in 2000, so it became more of so Warren went back to the Allman Brothers band and then played with them, and then sometimes would tour with his own band. But the thing about that band is it's kind of an acquired taste for some people, because he's not as he doesn't have the and I mean this lightly, so his punctuation's a little different. So
yeah,
some people think that the jams get a little monotonous, because when I saw them live, they did go on 16-minute jams a couple times.
Oh, dude,
and I enjoyed it just because I like that stuff. Like, I love the Grateful Dead, but for me, like, if I'm going to go on that long of a jam, I'm going to have to do something different in between.
Yeah. We did I did a music video. I did the production of it and everything. And we did a music video one time, and we did a little bit weird. We did 5 bands all together, and we did stands right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Caitlin throwed it over somewhere else, I guess. And we're doing a music video, and this band was a rock band, but they were both lead guitarists, had 2 guitarists on it. Both of them were lead, and music video is generally 3 to 4.5 minutes, maybe. When they hit 12 minutes of throwing leads back and forth at each other, I called it. I said, look, dude, he ain't going to do this, And they had, somebody told me that was there, oh, they could do that for 20, 25 minutes. And I'm like, hell no. I don't want to hear a lead that long. I don't want to hear 2 guitars throwing leads back and forth all freaking night long. And the song wasn't that good. But anyway, it was just crazy stuff. Right. I don't like stuff like that. Back in the radio days, they would love that. Of course, that's when they were, using them songs to do bathroom breaks and stuff.
Right.
It's nothing but fun. It gets crazy stuff. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from southeastern Indiana, halfway between Indianapolis and Cincinnati.
I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. God, I love that show. What?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask. I'm from Evansville.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, where I'm from is Greensburg, Indiana. So
Okay.
it's on the other end of the state. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, if you take a map of Indiana, put your finger in between Cincinnati and Indianapolis. That's where I'm from.
Nice.
Awesome.
So luckily for her, she actually had a, because Evansville's like just over a 2-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I had like a 4.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Plus
go back too often.
Plus the time change.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like past Vincent's, that's when it changes. Vincent's from Evansville is only like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's Vincent's, which, like the areas of Evansville, Terre Haute, and Gary are all in Central Time, but the rest of the state's on Eastern Time.
It's
yeah,
weird.
as a truck driver, I hated that. The time change. It always drove me nuts.
Try driving a drive where you're driving up into Indiana, you lose an hour, and then go like it into Illinois and gain the hour back.
Yeah, it's weird. I never liked it. I don't even think Nashville needs to be on daylight savings time anymore. It's just too crazy.
I do miss the day. I do like those days where it gets dark at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, me too. It's about to start getting dark again at 4.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
I get sleepy and I'm like, wait, I just have to go to work right now.
Yeah, where would rather have a bowl of chili, some jammies, Mix Max socks, and Star Wars on TV or something.
Yes.
Sit back and jam out. I miss those days. We might have to do that. I wonder if we could do a podcast where it's just us hanging out watching Star Wars.
We'd have to bring my dad down.
I've got the Colts game rolling right now, so.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Lord.
How are they doing this season? I haven't been paying attention.
They're 1-2. They got off to a really rough start, but
Hey, at least they won one.
yeah,
That's a first.
Yeah, they're playing the Steelers right now. They're up right now. My wife grew up less than my wife grew up close to Pittsburgh, so.
Lord.
I will say this: when I went to that town and we kind of drove next to those stadiums, and it was off season, you
Yeah.
just feel the spirit there. Now, I went to a shop right next to the stadium and got a terrible towel because I always wanted one, and then I took a picture, put it on Facebook, totally forgetting that where I grew up, we had both Colts and Bengals fans,
Right.
and the Bengals fans weren't happy with me.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
But that's another story for another time. But yeah, I'm originally from southeastern Indiana. I liked my town. I mean, it was a lot of cornfields, a lot of cows. I mean, I grew up with farmers.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is when people think small town, they think,
No red lights.
no red lights. There's, there's a couple Church of Christ's, a couple Baptist church. And I'm talking culturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking culturally here, not religiously, culturally.
Yeah.
But we had we actually had like 3 Catholic churches in one area, so that was actually the majority of the people I went to school with.
That's weird. There was 3 actual Catholic churches.
Yeah, and people don't think about that in towns like areas like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I mean they're not all painted the same. I mean,
Yeah. 3 different incomes.
yeah. But in my county we had 3 schools. We had 2 smaller county schools on the north and south side of the county, and then we had in town we had the bigger town school, Greensburg High School.
Yeah.
So I went to one of the smaller ones in the northern part of the county.
See, that's what I always wanted. Because I was born and raised in Nashville, metropolitan area. But Dad had, thank God, Dad had a lot of friends that had farms and stuff like that. Weekends, my little skinny, nappy-headed butt was out there on them freaking farms working and doing all kinds of stuff, and that's what he wanted to instill in me, that work ethic, you don't eat until you pull the grain in, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't I didn't grow up on a farm, but my dad did.
Yeah.
So, and my uncle's still on that farm to this day.
Awesome.
So, like, I've helped my grandparents bale hay a few times, and then I got a summer job at YMCA at the little local YMCA, so that ended that. But I didn't do a whole lot of the stuff that they did, just because I wasn't on the farm much. But yeah, I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to go out with my grandpa when he would feed the cattle in the morning and in the evening. Then one of the bulls knocked me over when I was 8, and that ended that. But
The big bully.
yeah, and my uncle was just like, he just wanted his head scratched. I'm like, come on, tell an 8-year-old that.
Yeah.
But
It was bad enough he had a 5,000-pound animal sitting there looking at him.
yeah, and I'm just like, well, at least he'll be on the plate soon.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I mean, like, I grew up around hay farmers, pig farmers, and part of me kind of felt like I was an outsider just because
Yeah.
culturally I was a little different than a lot of them. I mean, even from when my dad was growing up. But
Yeah.
I mean, my dad didn't even work in the county. He drove an hour to Indianapolis to UPS to work on trucks and back.
I worked for a division of UPS a long time ago.
Yeah.
The Brown Fleet.
Yes, he.
I wonder why they chose brown. That has got to be a shitty color.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Well, they actually are the oldest
Package delivery service in the world.
Yes, privately.
Yeah.
I mean, non-postal service.
Yeah.
Because FedEx, believe it or not, is only 50 years old.
Worked for them too.
Yep.
Worked for Old Dominion.
And
I drove a lot of miles, man,
and believe it or not, the largest is DHL.
which is weird.
Well, they're not as big here, but they're huge in Europe. Like how FedEx is here,
Yeah.
DHL, like you rarely see a FedEx truck in Europe, but you see DHL trucks all the time.
Oh, yeah. All over the place. It's wild how some of that stuff works.
Yeah. And, but, in story short, like, yeah, I felt like an outsider. I mean, I was a little different. I was listening to blues while everybody was listening to Kenny Chesney.
Yeah.
No pun not don't get me wrong, Kenny, if you ever hear this.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect his artistry. And probably my wife's in the back going, oh.
Yeah. But,
This was when Kenny was becoming really popular.
Yeah.
The No Shoes, No Shirt, No Service, or No Problem, sorry.
Yeah.
Album was released, and basically that was some of my schoolmates, that was their summer. They buy the big country mega ticket. Brad Paisley, Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney. The 2000s were a very interesting time for country. But,
and honestly, that's when I was probably about the time that I was actually watching a lot of Brad Paisley,
yeah,
because the way he plays guitar is just phenomenal. I love watching him play.
yeah. And the thing is, like, we had, great instrumentalists in country before that. I mean, we had Ricky Skaggs,
Yeah.
we had Vince Gill, but not to that level.
Yeah.
And, I was obsessed with Brad when I was growing up, and to the point where I drove people crazy. I actually didn't start listening to I started listening to country when I was a kid, and then after my grandfather died in 2004, I stopped listening to it.
Yeah.
And wanted nothing to do with it. Then my first trip to Nashville, I kind of found my way back to it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy how some of that stuff goes. But I really liked watching Brad play. I like watching, I guess I'm a watcher, because, I noticed, like when I met you down at, when you was playing for Chris Turner down there at the Mockingbird, I was sitting there watching you, and you was just like, effortlessly just jamming through the songs, you know, and I'm just like, so I started watching you and watching how you played and everything. Because, like I said, I don't, showboating is over with.
And,
You know,
believe it or not, I used to do a lot of that.
yeah.
And I just cut back just because it took away from what I was doing. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I like the entertainment quality, you know, that I'll add to it. But there's times where, especially when you're playing for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just got to learn to lay back. Now, there's times where it's just like, why are you standing? I'm like, okay, you know, and then, you know, you release this big ball of energy.
Yeah, I don't think you need me to do a power slide across the stage at, you know, at a country show.
But, you know, what's interesting is I find myself unique because the approach that I take is because,
Yeah.
I mean, I show up with a Strat instead of a Tele, a few pedals, and I take, and I always describe myself, you know, as if Hendrix tried to become a country player.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I tried getting that style out of myself. And then I'm just like, why did I get better at the guitar and not be happy? Well, it's because I kind of took I took myself away from basically what, you know, I was meant to play like.
Yeah.
And so nowadays I'm kind of going back to that.
Yeah.
That show, I played a Squire and a few pedals into to a little amp, and I just, of course, I had to play with a little amp in that place. But
Well, yeah, it's a small place.
well, it was made of brick.
Yeah.
I've actually played there before too.
Yeah.
So,
It's not a bad venue, but it's not a great venue either.
well, see, I mean, we're talking country rock in a small little place made of brick.
Yeah. Echo like crazy.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand the echo. Caitlin knows the echo. What are you doing?
Her little sound thing, I was making sure it was not coming through the headphones too.
What little sound thing?
Her little cricket thingy.
I don't even hear it.
I do.
That's why you're the producer. He keeps looking at his phone on that damn game. You see that?
I know.
No, I'm just kind of peeking. I mean, I normally wouldn't do this, but when you said, you know, we just, you know, shoot crap and all that, you know, just making a regular conversation, I was just like, you know, and then you mentioned watch Star Wars. I'm like, hey, I'll just have a game on.
Go sports ball.
We do what we do. Welcome to David Bradley Sports Talk. God, that go over like a pissing in the wind.
Yeah. Well, and me personally, like I was never really good at playing sports, but I always enjoyed them. And
See, I wasn't no good at playing them,
yeah.
but we go get drunk and slam the crap out of each other, you know, throw a football in there. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, we just get out and play. We played for fun.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like against anybody that was, you know, no league or anything like that. It was, dude, back in high school, it was just me and a bunch of friends that started playing out at Shelby Park or Moss Wright Park. And every Sunday we'd be out there just playing and people would show up, you know. So we had like, at one time in Shelby Park, we literally had people on the sidelines. We had a full football league going on one Sunday. We had like the players on the field. We had extra players on the side just waiting to get in. I mean, it was just wild. And I was like, kept going to the trunk of my car to get a scoop of something to drink. It was crazy stuff. But that was the childhood, you know. Yeah. We did wild, crazy stuff when we were thankful there was not Facebook back then.
You know, that's one thing I could live without. I mean,
Well,
maybe not now.
Yeah, but see, I keep seeing this thing on Facebook that says, if you had no internet, no this, no that, could you live? And I'm like, hell yeah.
I mean,
But this is an internet-based show, so I kind of would like it'd take away the show, wouldn't it?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm,
Unless you started a radio.
I could.
my dad to this day doesn't text. He's 64.
Yeah.
Doesn't text. I mean, I could, and his philosophy was like, why don't you just call him? I'm like, Dad, you're going to take 3 minutes out of their time, just tell them something that you could just write to them
Yeah.
in a sentence. But
See, sometimes I'll use that talk to text.
yeah. But the thing is, you got to be really careful because of autocorrect.
I love autocorrect.
Yeah.
It tells people shit that I even think about saying.
Yeah, but then it autocorrects to things that become really awkward. And you're like, oh, I did not mean that. But now you can edit if you have an iPhone, which is nice.
I think it's funny when it says stuff that I didn't even say.
Yeah.
Boo boo bunny fuck or some shit, you know.
Exactly. Sending that to your parents or someone. It's like, oh, that's awkward.
That's weird. Somebody you hate and it sends I love you, babe.
Yep.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. That's the way it goes. It's crazy.
Right.
So you play with all these people and everything. Are you doing your own stuff? Writing your own stuff?
Yeah. I haven't read my own stuff in a while.
Now, is that like a passion or just something you could take or leave?
It's not necessarily take or leave. It's just there are some writers who like write every day and just have that. I just never was that kind of writer just because if I write a song, I want to play it.
Dude, I've been out with people and they'll hear something or see something and they're like, hang on a minute. And they're on their phone. And I'm like, what are you doing? Dude, that was a hell of a hook. And I'm like, what?
But yeah, I have.
Well, it's like when Sal was on the show. Sal showing me his phone, and he's got like, dude, there had to be 100 freaking hooks or something out of a song or something, you know, that was there.
Yeah, and I was never necessarily like that, but I've had some, pretty good, inspirational songs or hooks and just kind of made them, into a song. And sometimes I've gone back to something I just jot down and finished.
Yeah.
I wrote my first song when I was 14. I no longer play it. I never will play it again. But
Was it over a love?
yeah,
Ah, there we go.
kind of.
Kind of.
It was, and I had never written a song before. So, I mean, I just was like, okay, who do I know that's in a relationship right now is all gung-ho on it? And what's the name of the girl? And I wrote it down and
So the first of your songs started out with "You Big Idiot."
yeah. Well, that relation, and this was, I was in 8th grade, so
Yeah.
it was a quote unquote relationship.
Oh yeah.
I'm going out with this person. Cool. Where you going?
Yeah.
Well, if you're going out with somebody, you must be going somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Well, no. I'm like, congratulations on you not going out, ain't going nowhere date.
There you go.
So, and they're just like, well, no, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm like,
But you only see them at school.
let me guess. Do you get on? Did you trick out your tricycle and roll up to their house? Be like, I'll take you to class, babe.
Yeah,
You
really.
know, something like that.
Well, during that age, it was they had the playing cards they would put in the spokes and dress their bike up, and she could fit in the basket.
Yeah. That's the thing about the millennial generation, especially my era of millennials. we use terms. I mean, I was raised by boomers, so they're just like, what? Because they're just like, you're going steady with that. I'm like, Dad, that term was over in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't know. I kind of miss the going steady type thing, you know? I mean, but now y'all just say we're exclusive.
I like that term better.
You like exclusive better?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like different phases or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know what you Gen Z people do nowadays, but you know what it's.
I don't know. I'm a Generation X. We were just like, kind of like that song, "Do You Love Me?" Check now, yes or no. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a Gen Z. I was 96. It's like borderline, like the cutoff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait. It's not check yes or no. It's swipe left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I never, because I remember when Tinder first came out, I was just like, okay, this is weird. This is like speed dating.
I never got the whole speed dating thing. It's like you're going to sit in a room with a bunch of people you don't even know and sit down for 5 minutes and go to the next. How in the hell are you going to figure out anything?
Yeah, that's like adult musical chairs. I mean, you're better off just going to a bingo night or something like that.
Yep. Well, you go to bingo night and you pick up a girl, at least you know she can bake.
There you go, David. There's an idea.
There we go. I can go to bingo
Start
night.
going to bingo.
I'm going to bingo night and I'm going to have some cookies.
They probably do some on Sundays.
That's true.
You
There's
know,
no telling.
I actually, so I saw a movie called My Girl that Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis were in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where Dan Aykroyd says, "Hey, I like to go play bingo on Saturday nights. You want to come?" It's just like, I'm like, wait. Because Dan Aykroyd was in his, early 40s at the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, even then, I mean, like, because the silent generation was all in their 50s. They're just like,
Yeah.
that's what our parents do.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. So, yeah, I think it's funny how all the generations and everything else, and they've got different things for each one. And in a sense, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
You're just calling it different shit, you know?
Yeah.
It just gets crazy. But anyway, I want to hear some music.
Yeah. All right. Let's do, this is one that I haven't released yet, but
Ooh, I love those.
this song actually started, I think it was about 6 years ago. But I had just left a guy that I had been playing music with for the past for about a year solid. And to me, it was kind of like doing hard time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a very healthy kind of thing. I mean, yeah, I went from one player to another, and it did help that I had all of these gigs and play with him on the weekends, stay busy, and but it just got to the point where I just had to get out of there. So
Yeah, because, I mean, because when you're with a band, it's like a relationship. Sometimes they're toxic. You got to get out.
but it's a song about new directions, and I call it "Wheels Keep Turning on a New Rocky Road."
Hey.
New day's risen that southern sky. Oil's changing, I'm ready to ride. leaving my yesterday shattered in glass. Watch them all disappear when I hit the gas. It's miles and miles and there's tolls that I'll pay to ride in my life, and I must take this way. Flatland of valleys on mountains I roam, wheels keep turning on a new rocky road. Travel this road as far as it will go. It's hot and the miles keep stretching on. My one-track mind plays the same old song. The sun says better days ahead, so I'll put on the cruise and hope this ride never ends. It's miles and miles and there's tolls that I'll pay to ride on my life, and I must take this way. Flatland of valleys on mountains I roam, wheels keep turning on a new rocky road. I'll travel this road as far as it will go. Miles and miles, tolls I'll pay, ride of my life I'll take this way. Flatland of valleys on mountains I roam, wheels keep turning and turning and turning and turning. It's miles and miles and there's tolls that I'll pay to ride on my life, and I must take this way. Flatland of valleys on mountains I roam, wheels keep turning on a new rocky road. I'll travel this road as far as it will go.
Dude, I like that. That's a good rocking song.
It's one of those that I kind of just went back to and tweaked over time, and there have been times where there's like months, even years between another song being written.
Yeah.
But what gets me writing again, because some people say, well, you lose it. I'm like, yeah, sometimes. What I do is I listen to songs like that and be like, okay, I've done it before. I can do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big songwriter. I got stories for days. I just don't know how to twist them and turn them into a song.
Yeah. I mean, I think Elton John had it a little bit simpler, because all Bernie Taupin did was just, hey, here's all this poetry.
Yeah.
And
Elton just put music to it.
put music to it, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Although they wrote some good songs.
They had a hell of a relationship. You know, they done really, really good. I was impressed. Of course, I was more impressed with the Pinball Wizard. I love that part.
Which was that was originally a Who song.
Mm-hmm. He just changed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Which that version, I think, was what made the Tommy movie, which was really weird.
What I love, though, is how they took the whole Tommy album. Everything they wrote for that album was like a rock opera.
Yeah.
You know, it had a story from the start, from the first song all the way to the very end. You know, it was a hell of an accomplishment for a rock band back in the day.
Yeah. And I've actually seen the Who twice. First time they played Quadrophenia start to finish, as well as their hits too.
Yeah.
And then they did one side of Quadrophenia and one side of Tommy. That was pretty cool. And they did it with the symphony orchestra.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
It was awesome. In fact, Pete Townsend, who, of course, he's in his 80s now.
Yeah.
But he was in his late 70s at the time. He actually tripped and fell, got right back up. And I'm thinking, wait, every 70-some years old that I know, when they fall, they break something.
Oh, yeah.
But him, nope.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're Keith Richards.
Oh, yeah.
He'll live forever.
I mean, this is kind of off color, but you know, I think fentanyl for him cures any kind of disease.
Yeah, it's possible. Who knows? There is no telling.
I mean, one of the first memes ever posted during the COVID shutdowns was Keith Richards in a no shirt and words to say, "Where did everybody go?"
Just walking through town. He didn't care. He was fine. Boom, boom, boom.
But yeah, I wish my wife had a mic right now. I mean, because
You need a backup singer.
yes, I do.
Caitlin, you're backup singing on this one.
Also, biggest Dierks Bentley fan in the world. I don't know why, but
Hey, who's to know? People know stuff, and then you're just like,
I did see him live 3 weeks ago with him or with her, and it was an incredible show.
yeah.
But I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what's all the craze about?
Yeah, I know. Well, I got a buddy of mine from back in high school, Joey Danish.
Yeah.
Biggest Cars fan you ever seen in your life. Every time a new album dropped of the Cars, he was getting it.
Okay.
And then the Police. He was a big Police fan.
I mean, they were an incredible group.
They were really good, but I listened to them. They're okay. But you want to get in a weird situation was I was a Kiss fan. Die-hard Kiss Army. My bedroom was nothing but Kiss from wall to wall, all the way around.
Well, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I actually kind of had a guilty pleasure Kiss experience when I was a teenager. Like I watched a concert video of them and from the early 2000s, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
Even my parents were just like, we never really liked Kiss. And we're just like, why people love them so much, I don't know. But years later, here they are. We're watching Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, which was his reality show he had on A&E. And I actually kind of liked it. But
well, I mean, it's just I was a Kiss fan because I liked the music.
yeah.
I liked the makeup. I liked the stage. They had one hell of a stage act, And the first time they come to the Municipal Auditorium here in Nashville,
Yeah.
I won tickets off the radio and was actually able to go. I think I was like 13, 14 years old. I won a T-shirt, concert tickets and everything, and went and watched them. And I was just like, that was actually my first real concert I'd been to. And it was just like, wow. And then when my kids were growing up, that actually was their first concert they went to. I took them to go see them.
Okay.
But they were blown away by the stage show and everything else, It was loud. It was flames and everything going everywhere. And it was better than Barnum and Bailey Circus, Barnum and Bailey Circus. So we went. I took them to go see that, and then it just went from there.
I really like the Destroyer album, first two albums,
Mm-hmm.
and then I actually kind of liked Sonic Boom, which was a one that they did in 2010, but it's just weird because Gene had that more growl voice in his earlier days, but now, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird hearing him sing nowadays. But
Yeah, it gets crazy.
I always respected Paul Stanley and his, but the thing is, their last tour, I was just like, no, not doing it unless Ace Frehley and Peter Criss are on that stage. I'm not doing it.
I was with them all the way up until they took the makeup off. When they took the makeup off for the Dynasty album, not Dynasty album, it was the next one,
Creatures of the Night.
Creatures of the Night album. When they took the makeup off for that, I'm done.
And they brought the makeup back.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give a damn what they look like. Yeehaw. All right. You got another song you wanted to do?
Sure.
We'll do one more song and then we got to get out of here.
All right. So this one you can actually find on all the streaming sites.
Spotify and all the good ones.
Spotify and all the good ones. And I wrote this. This was actually right before the shutdowns. I went back to one of my old songs and started, playing around with it. And I came up with this little gospel-like rundown. I was just like, okay, I got to finish this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I played at a blues club in Montgomery, Alabama in March of 2020. Then 10 days later, everything just kind of just shuts down, and I'm just like, that song was played at just at the perfect time, and I actually recorded it that summer. And,
Sweet.
Might re-record it. I don't know. I haven't decided. But,
Oh, why not? Who cares?
but anyway, this is called "Take a Walk with Me." Hesitation. Only want to know your direction. No need to worry, no need to be afraid. Take each step with me and leap along the way. Don't have to call you mine after just one night. It's just you and me, baby, on our own time. Take a walk with me. Let's run in and in with the wind in the trees. You in the world, it's pretty as can be. So take a little walk with me. Caught up in God's creation, high on our affection. Sun's gonna rest and the miles are on our feet. So we cuddle up under fireflies till we fall asleep. Before we head home, say good night. Can we walk, baby, just one more time? Take a walk with me. Let's run in and in with the wind in the trees. You in the world, it's pretty as could be. So take a little walk with me. Even after these years go by, take a walk in rain or sunshine. No matter what this crazy world give, and in you, baby, till the very end. Take a walk with me. Let's run in with the wind in the trees. You and the world, it's pretty as can be. So take a little walk with me. Take a walk with me. Let's run in with the wind in the trees. You and the world, it's pretty as can be. So take a little walk with me. Take a little walk with me. Take a little walk with me.
Hell yeah. I like that. It's got a vibe to it. Caitlin likes the vibe. Lord of mercy. Well, I'm glad you finished writing that.
I did. I mean, it's one of those songs where you get done with it, it's just like, okay, that actually turned out really good.
Yeah. It's got a little walk to it, too.
Yeah. And I've got a bunch of unfinished stuff that I might go back to. And
You might as well.
And but as I said, if I listen to a song like that, usually I can find my way back to writing. I mean, one of my good stories was John Resnick, who's the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls, actually had writing block for over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was commissioned to write a song for a movie. I forget what the movie was called, but it was the movie that Iris was on. So
I have no clue.
but he wrote the song Iris, and of course we all know how big of a hit that came. And
Oh, yeah. It got out there. It's crazy.
but I mean, like I said, they're not as popular as they used to be, but they still write. I mean, John Resnick still writes really good songs.
Yeah. I've always liked the Goo Goo Dolls. His voice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just incredible.
I really like the Boy Named Goo album.
Yeah, it was a good one. It gets crazy. I'm sorry. I'm still just like listening to your song in my head that you just played.
Yeah.
It's got a little thing to it,
Right.
Catchy. I love catchy. All right, dude. Logan, we're going to have to get out of here. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah. So, obviously, you can find me on Instagram, loganrep.com. I have some videos up on YouTube. There will be more coming out. I do have a Facebook music page, but I actually might just go to Instagram and X.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to comprehend calling it X instead of Twitter.
I still don't even know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But you can find me there. I do have an acoustic EP on everything but Spotify, but the single I have on everything. So
okay, cool.
if you're an Apple Music user, you'll find it. If you're an Amazon Music user, you'll find it.
Awesome.
And the only reason why people bought that was because they can stream all the Garth Brooks songs.
Yeah, well,
But yeah. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
And you can find you around town playing music every now and then.
Yes. I mean, I play every week on Broadway. I play shows of my own. I actually have a show coming up at the Pop Turney's in November. It's the barbecue joint and next to Percy Priest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In the marina. And
You're just doing that by yourself?
I'm doing that with a trio.
Okay.
I'm going to start putting that out fairly soon, so do look out for that.
That'll be awesome.
Yes.
I might have to come to that. Mm-hmm. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. First Friday in November.
Awesome. I love it. All right. Logan, appreciate you being on the song.
I appreciate it, David. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And y'all look for Logan Ramp. Go to all of his websites, everything. Check him out. Phenomenal guitar player. And now that he's getting out on his own a little bit more and doing some stuff, it's going to be, I'm interested to see where you take it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. Good deal. All right, everybody, please remember, like, share, follow, subscribe. All of your artists, buy some merch. It helps these guys out a whole lot, and it even helps out old podcasters like me. Go to the websites, buy some merch, have some fun. Like Caitlin is right now behind the screens over there thinking, that's where you queue up. You go thinking,
I just
what?
need food.
We're going to go have
Out
Pop-Tarts.
and everything else. I'm lightheaded. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go have Pop-Tarts. You want a Pop-Tart?
Sure. Why not?
All right. Everybody, please like, share, follow, subscribe. Check everything out. October 19th, go to Gallatin at the Palace Theater. Check out Linda Purr's stuff that she's got going on. We are actually going to be there recording with the artist and having some fun. Y'all come out. It's a big community deal. And catch me more later. Love you. Mean it. See ya. Bye.